Hello and welcome back to my channel, Talented Reads. So today I just wanted to chat about new releases. This is something I have kind of grown to love, I think, in the more recent years. I don't remember ever kind of monitoring the new releases that are coming out, but the last couple years, like the publishing industry has come hard. There's a lot of really good books, a lot more horror stuff coming out. I'm totally enamored by all of the beautiful covers and the quick little synopses that I read, and I just love it. So what I wanted to do is talk about some of the new releases that I'm really excited for that are coming out in the latter half of the year. So this would be July through December. Obviously these are books I don't have, so I'll be putting up all of the book covers on the screen, and then I think I'm going to link all of the books down in the description box if there's any you would like to check out. As far as where I get new releases, I get a lot of them actually from Goodreads. There's a new releases section on there where you can kind of sort it by month. Also, if you're into horror, Tor and Nightfire puts out a list every month on their blog, which is all of the new horror releases, not just by them, but all of the ones that they're kind of aware of in the publishing industry, which is another great resource. And I kind of, I follow a lot of the publishing companies on social media. I did a lot from there. And I get a lot of recommendations. And, there's still some that I don't know about until, I go to Barnes & Noble or something and I'm like, hey, I didn't see that, right? So there's lots of resources. Alright, let's kind of get started. So the first one that I have is The Pallbearers Club by Paul Tremblay. Now, as far as reading synopsis, I very rarely ever read the entire synopsis. I usually read just a little clip of it or a blurb from somebody, just because I'm usually going into the book blind. But this little blurb says, this seamlessly blurs the lines between fiction and memory, the supernatural and the mundane. Which just sounds great. Paul Tremblay is an author I've read quite a few from. I tend to pick up all of his books. Haven't enjoyed all of them, but clearly that hasn't prevented me from buying more of his. So, very excited for this one. Next is The It Girl by Ruth Ware. Says it's an unput-downable mystery following a woman on the search for answers a decade after her friend's murder. Ruth Ware I consider a very safe kind of mystery author. I've read almost everything she's published at this point. So yeah, I'm very excited about this one. Next is We Lie Here by Rachel Housel Hall. Says a woman's trip home reveals frightening truths and a twisty novel of murder and family. And next is Just Like Home by Sarah Daly. The synopsis says, come home. Vera's mother called and Vera obeyed. In spite of their long estrangement, in spite of the memories, she's come back to the home of a serial killer. I mean, how can you not want to pick this up? I'm so excited for this one. Mary by Nat Cassidy. And actually, I think this is called Mary, an Awakening of Terror or something like that. It says it blends Midsummer with elements of American Psycho and a pinch of I'll Be Gone in the Dark. So, there's not much more you have to say to that, because it's going in my cart. Next is The Daughter of Dr. Moreau by Sylvia Garcia Moreno. This is a... Sorry, I think it's Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I have that backwards. Sorry about that. It says this is a reimagining of The Island of Dr. Moreau. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Blackmouth by Ronald Malfi says it's perfect for fans of It. A group of friends return to their hometown to confront a nightmare they first stumbled on as teenagers in this mesmerizing odyssey of terror. I've read quite a few of Ronald Malfi's books, and I really enjoy them. He's got a writing style that really brings on the eerie and creepiness, so I'm pretty excited for that. Nightmare Fuel by Nina Nessif. I believe this is actually a nonfiction. It says it's a pop science book which looks at fear, the how and why horror films get under our skin, and why we keep coming back for more. So, excited to see what that's about. My Imaginary Mary by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. This is a reimagining of the one and only Mary Shelley. This is actually the second book of the Mary series. The first book was a reimagining of Mary, Queen of Scots. So this is actually the same trio that have done the Lady Jane series as well, where they took reimaginings of historical people whose names started with Jane. So I think there's going to be 3 books in this group as well. I actually read the first one last year and really enjoyed it. So, and of course, Mary Shelley. I mean, come on. The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead. It says this is a black thriller about a woman determined to destroy a powerful cult and avenge the deaths of the women taken by it, no matter the cost. This cover is really what intrigued me. I love the brightness and the hands. It's like kind of mysterious and summery, but you're not really sure like what's really going on, what the book's really about. This is the same author that wrote In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, which got like phenomenal ratings actually last year, so I'm pretty excited about this. Necroscope by Brian Lumley. I believe this is actually a reprint, but it is the first book in a vampire trilogy. Torn Nightfire is reprinting the 3 books. This is the first one. I don't think the second one comes out until next year. Bad Fruit by Ella King. It says this is for fans of My Dark Vanessa and Celestine. It says it's an unforgettable portrayal of a toxic mother-daughter relationship and a young woman's search for truth and liberation. Sold. And next is The Gathering Dark by Tori Bovalino. This is actually an anthology of folk horror. I believe this is a young adult anthology. A lot of these authors I've read from before, so this is going to be a good anthology. I just have a feeling. It Rides a Pale Horse by Andy Marino. Says, from a new star in horror fiction comes a terrifying novel of obsession, greed, and the shocking actions we'll take to protect those we love, all set in a small town filled with dark secrets. I absolutely love this cover, and I love this book title. It's very ominous, and I just love it. Alright, what else we got? Oh, The Hollow Kind by Andy Davidson. It says it is a jaw-dropping novel about legacy and the horrors that hide in the dark corners of family history. This is the author that wrote The Boatman's Daughter, which I have and I have not read, but I know that book gets so many good reviews. So I might have to do a Annie Davidson read. Little Eve by Katrina Ward. I believe this is another reprint. This is from Tor Nightfire. It says a heart-pounding tale of faith and family with a devastating twist. And I, again, freaking love this cover. It's just awesome. Where Black Stars Rise by Nadia Shamus. Says it's an eldritch horror graphic novel that explores mental illness set in modern day Brooklyn. Graphic novels are one of those things that I'm like, oh my god, I love graphic novels, and I pick them up and then I never freaking read them. So I think I'm gonna have to make a goal to read some more graphic novels in my life. So I'll start with that one. Alright, I think that's about it. So there are actually a few ARCs that I've received. As a reminder, and for people who don't know, an ARC stands for Advanced Reader Copy. These are books that are coming out later in this year, but you get an early copy to read and review and kind of help market and push the book. I get all my ARCs from a website called NetGalley. These are usually ebooks, and I've got a lot of really good ones that I'm super excited about. So let's go over those. First, we have What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. Says this is a gripping and atmospheric retelling of Edgar Allan Poe's classic, The Fall of the House of Usher. I'm so excited for this, but also equally a little nervous because, I think that I need to get some, we'll say, big balls taken on Poe, but I absolutely love Edgar Allan Poe, so I'm very excited for this one. Wake the Bones by Elizabeth Kilcone. Says the sleepy little farm that Laurel Early grew up on has awakened. The woods are shifting, the soil is dead under her hands, and her bone pile just stood up and walked away. Yes, please. And again, this cover is so cool. The Devil Takes You Home by Gabino Iglesias. Says this is a thriller about a father desperate to salvage what's left of his family, even if it means a descent into violence, both supernatural and of our own terrifying world. I kind of like those horror, like psychological ones, kind of mixed with a little bit of supernatural and paranormal. So I'm curious to see where this one goes. Next we have Such a Good Mother by Helen Montz Takar. So some woman would do anything for their children. It says this thrilling novel cuts straight to the dark heart of modern motherhood, privilege, and the lengths we'll go to get ahead. Sounds like a good thrillery. And this next one, which I'm so excited, I actually got a copy of. This is Daphne by Josh Malerman. It says it's mixing a nostalgic coming-of-age story and an instantly iconic female villain with an innovative new vision of classic horror. I'm so excited for this book. The cover is, love it. And of course, it's Josh Malerman. Can't go wrong with him. He's written a lot of really good books. Some of them are hit and miss, but, you know, again, my favorite's Bird Box. So I will never not read Josh Malerman. Next is Suburban Hell by Maureen Kilmer. A Chicago cul-de-sac is about to get a new neighbor of the demonic kind. I believe this book comes out in the fall, but it's so bright and summery. I think I'm going to try to get this in this summer. It sounds just like a good little small town horror. Next is I'm the Girl by Courtney Summers. Says when 16-year-old Georgia Avis discovers the dead body of 13-year-old Ashley James, she teams up with Ashley's older sister Nora to find and bring the killer to justice before he strikes again. Sounds like a good mystery. And next we have Loot by Jen Marie Thorne. Says this is Wicker Man meets Final Destination, which right there just freaking sold me. But it says it is a atmospheric, unsettling folk horror novel about love, duty, and community. I read so many cult books so far this year, and I absolutely love them. I cannot get enough of them, so I'm excited to have some more to read for the fall. Next we have Malice House by Megan Shepard. This says weaves a complex tale of dark magic and family secrets when a woman attempts to settle the estate of her father, who is an acclaimed horror novelist. Says this is perfect for fans of Lovecraft Country, Leigh Bardugo's Ninth House, and The Babadook. All of my favorite things. Let's see, next we got The Witch in the Well by Camilla Bruce. It says when two former friends reunite after decades apart, their grudges, flawed ambitions, and shared obsession swirl into an all too real echo of a terrible town legend. This is the author that did, what is the name of that book? It's white and it has like a feather on it. It's called You Let Me In, which was like all the rage last year on YouTube. I actually bought it because it showed up in so many people's favorites of the year. And I haven't read it yet, but it's kind of trippy and psychological. So I'm kind of hoping this one's a little the same way. So I'm excited to read this one. Next, we have The Dark Between the Trees by Fiona Barnett. So 17 men enter the wood, only 2 are ever seen again, and the stories they tell of what happened make no sense. Stories of shifting landscapes, of trees that appear and disappear at will, and of something else, something dark, something hungry. An unforgettable, surrealist, gothic horror thriller with commercial crossover appeal. I'm not sure what commercial crossover appeal is, but the rest of it sounds right up my alley. And lastly, I have A Sliver of Darkness by C.J. Tudor. This is actually a short story collection featuring bone-chilling and mind-bending tales. This is the author that did, I think it's called The Chalk Man. That was popular, I think that was last year. So I'm excited to see the short story collection. I haven't actually read from CJ Tudor. Actually, did CJ Tudor do the Burning Girls? Oh. Did I just, hold on. Now I'm second guessing myself. Because, you know, when you read so many books, yes, CJ Tudor did The Burning Girls. I did read that last year. That was really good. I enjoyed that book. Cool. Yeah, so I haven't actually read The Chalk Man, but I did read The Burning Girls last year. I actually got that from NetGalley, so I'm excited to have another one from CJ Tudor. And of course, you can't go wrong with a short story collection, you know? Oh, I do have one more. The Family Game by Catherine Steedman says a rich, eccentric family, a time-honored tradition, or a lethal game of survival. I do like games. I read another one earlier this year about a rich family too that puts on this game. So that was pretty enjoyable. And I think this is the author that did Something in the Water, which was highly popular last year. So, and this cover just, it's like such a fun, inviting game atmosphere. And I love the neon on it. So I'm excited to read this. So I think that kind of wraps up everything that's I've got like on my important to buy and to check out. And thank you to NetGalley and all of the publishers for all of those that I got arcs of. I'm very excited to read those. Drop a comment below and let me know what your favorite new releases you're excited about for the latter half of the year. I wish you happy book hunting, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.